What's up, guys? Thanks as always for supporting the show. It would mean a lot to me if you would take a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of our videos. Also, make sure you follow us all over social media so you don't miss any of our content or show announcements. Jason, I don't know if this is mailbag, but I've watched Curry and LeBron go at it for the last 5 years, and I've noticed that Curry tends to outplay him in regard to impact. A lot of people don't want to accept it, but I seriously think he's been better than LeBron for the last couple of years. A lot of general fans point to stats to show that it's close, but in my opinion, Curry's impact has been far greater than LeBron's. And I've noticed that LeBron's stats make him often better than must have just been a typo, but it says make him out to be better than he is in the last 3 to 4 years. He slacks off a lot on defense, and his points seem to be a bit hollow or empty. Don't get me wrong. But he's still been a top 5 player the last 5 seasons. But I could definitely be wrong. But I was wondering on your thoughts about this, especially since most NBA fans don't watch games and just point to stats to show how close it is. So more or less, you're just saying you think LeBron or Steph's been better than LeBron for the last couple of years. You said far better. I don't think it's far better, but I actually agree with you. I think Steph has been better than LeBron over the last few years. LeBron is super old now, and he's just more prone to injuries. That makes it harder for him to reach his peak. His peak is still every bit as high as everyone else in the league. Like, again, last year in February, there wasn't an NBA player playing better than LeBron last year in February. But then he got hurt again, right? And I mean, you guys are starting to see this. You Steph fans, like, Steph has been a monster, but he just got hurt. He's 37 now. Like, this is kind of what happens when you get into these years. And we'll see if that ends up being a fluke. And it was just because he had to carry such a crazy load right in the run up to the playoffs because of their predicament, because they waited so long to make a trade. And maybe Steph will be healthy from here on out. We'll see. But, like, I do agree that Steph has been better in the last few years than LeBron has been. It's like from, I'd say, 2022 to 2024. Yeah, that stretch, he's been a more reliably great player. That's actually why it's so difficult to have these kinds of discussions with people. Everyone just focuses on the wins and losses, when basketball is just so much more complicated than that. For example, the Lakers, led by LeBron, beat the Warriors in 2023, led by Steph. But I thought Steph was a better player than LeBron in that series. LeBron was on a bad foot. He was struggling to score effectively. LeBron was great in Game 6, especially. Like, LeBron was awesome at times in that series. And again, in Game 6, he was a fucking monster. But Steph was the better player in that series. But the Lakers were the better team, and the better team won. Similarly, you'll hear Warriors fans constantly talk about how they went 3-1 against LeBron in the finals. I thought LeBron was the best player in all 4 of those series. The Warriors were just obviously, similarly to the Lakers-Warriors series in 2023, the Warriors were just obviously better teams. The 2015 Cavs were decimated by injuries in that series. Kyrie and Kevin Love out. There was a massive talent gap. And then the KD Warriors are literally the greatest roster ever assembled in the history of the NBA. People were just being dense for whatever reason. Yeah, at least among the Warriors fans that look back on that era. I mean, if the Lakers traded for Giannis tomorrow and Luka and Giannis knocked Jokic out of the playoffs, that doesn't mean that Luka or Giannis are better than Jokic. That's incredibly stupid logic. But for whatever reason, Warriors fans make that very case when arguing Steph over LeBron. When the second and third best players in the league at the peak of their powers played on the same team, they beat LeBron twice. So my take is, for the entirety of LeBron's prime, LeBron was a better player than Steph. But Steph, in his late prime, has been better than 38, 39, 40-year-old LeBron. And lastly, the gap in both of these cases is close, in my opinion, which I think is a testament to the greatness of both of them. So, for instance, like, I do think LeBron was better than Steph during that whole era, but Steph got close. He got close to the guy many folks consider to be the best basketball player ever. That's an incredible feather in Steph's cap. That's a big part of why I have Steph as the 5th best perimeter player of all time. He legit competed, like, went toe-to-toe and competed against the GOAT. It's remarkable. Similarly, LeBron staying close to Steph and the stars at the top of the, like, it's close. Like, Steph's been better than LeBron the last couple years, but LeBron still made second team All NBA and was sixth in MVP voting last year, and like has definitively been right up there, hanging on for dear life with those guys. That he continues to make All NBA every year. He just got second team. It's a truly remarkable accomplishment for a 40-year-old basketball player. Him remaining at that level for as long as he has is literally the biggest part of why I view him as the GOAT. If I'm starting a franchise from scratch and I'm guaranteed a 10-year stretch where he's the best player in the world and another decade plus where he's an All NBA player, I'm giving myself a lot of chances to build a championship team. No one's come close to that. Next question. I'm as big of a LeBron fan as anyone, but I can't agree with him being higher on the list than Donovan Mitchell. You mentioned LeBron finished sixth in MVP voting, while Mitchell finished top 5. Donovan Mitchell led his team to the number 1 seed and statistically the second highest rated offense of all time. Additionally, if this list is based on the player you want from October to June, then health has to matter. Spida played 71 games last season, was healthy going into the playoffs, and averaged 30. It seems unfair to blame anything on him regarding their playoff run last season, seeing as he was without his wingman and his secondary playmaker, Garland, for the entire playoffs. And he still had a damn near 50-point game and is a notorious playoff riser. Think back to the bubble. Again, I love LeBron, but he hasn't been fully healthy going into either of the last 2 playoffs. And you wonder if he can maintain the intensity as a primary or secondary option for 4 series. It's tough to bank on a fully healthy LeBron season through the playoffs, whereas Spida is smack in his prime. So I'm taking him for health and availability. Thanks, and keep up the great work. Best basketball pod in the game. Thank you so much for the kind words. We're going to really dive into this one because I think it's an interesting debate. There are a couple things that I disagree with for you. Like, Spida playing 71 games was a little out of the ordinary. He typically does miss significant chunks of the season. That was one of the seasons where he played more than usual. And even though he averaged high scoring numbers, I didn't think he did an amazing job in terms of flow of the game, like floor management type stuff, like we talked about when we were doing the Donovan Mitchell video. And even though he put up big scoring numbers, the team, even though he was surrounded by a lot of shooting and quality role men talent, the Cavs did not put up good offensive ratings when Donovan Mitchell was in control of the offense. So like I push back on a couple of those specific things, but I want to dive into this because I don't see a large gap between the two. Anybody that I have ranked 5 to 12, I could see a case for any player to be ranked above any player. Like, there's absolutely a case for Donovan Mitchell to be above LeBron. It'd be a harder case to make, but you could absolutely argue him above a guy like Anthony Edwards. It could be like he has more reliable short range scoring. He's got like better floater, short range jump shooting. He's more attentive and disciplined off ball defender. Anthony Edwards makes a lot of mistakes on that end of the floor. Like, you could make the case. Again, it's not a case I would make. I think Ant is clearly a little bit better than Donovan Mitchell. But the point is like anywhere from 5 to 12, you could argue anybody over anybody. Like, if you're going to make a case for LeBron to be down at 12, you're going to focus on some of the inconsistencies in the regular season with his effort or some of the stuff with his age. And if you're going to argue him up to 5, you're going to be like, well, the guy that was playing in the first round against Denver 2 years ago looked like a bona fide top tier superstar. And like, when you have that dude, you just give yourself a really good chance, right? Like, you're going to make cases either way. And again, the case against health, or excuse me, the case against LeBron is health, as you mentioned. LeBron at his top end, the guy we saw in February, he's one of the 5 best players in the world, but there's no guarantee that he'll be at that level when you get to the playoffs. And you're right. I thought that in 2023, when he had the foot injury, he wasn't even close. He was like more like a 3rd-tier superstar because he had this broken foot and he could barely move, and it was affecting him in a bunch of areas of his game. I thought he was at that level in 2024. It was sneaky one of his better playoff series. They just got nuked by a couple of Jamal Murray game winners, but they led the majority of the series. He averaged 28 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists on 64% true shooting. He hit clutch shot after clutch shot after clutch shot. It just the Nuggets did more on offense at the end of those games. It just wasn't enough to win the series. And again, Denver's one of the great teams of this era, and they're defending champs at that point in time, right? And I thought he was fine against Minnesota. He was right at that second tier superstar level. Certainly better than he was in 2023 when they made the Western Conference Finals run, but not as good as he was in 2024. So to your point, it's kind of like a roll of the dice with LeBron as far as which player you're going to get when you get to the postseason. But that's the first point that I have to hone in on here. LeBron's floor is just so high as a basketball player still to this day. Like injured foot LeBron in the Western Conference Finals run. 25 points per game on 58% true shooting. Again, not the 30 points per game on 57% true shooting that Donovan Mitchell just put up, but still really good scoring. 25 points per game on 58% true shooting. Go look, just go look at the NBA.com website, sort by points per game, and look at how many players were averaging that type of scoring on that type of efficiency in this year's postseason run. 10 rebounds per game and 7 assists per game. 10 rebounds per game is a huge foundational boost to a basketball team. And like, say what you want to say about LeBron's regular season defensive effort, he's still a very good playoff defender to this day, while helping to anchor your defensive rebounding, while becoming an excellent catch and shoot player. Last 2 playoff runs, he's 18 for 37 on catch and shoot jump shots. That's 49%. He can still generate offense, not at the level that Donovan Mitchell does now, but still really good at it because of his playmaking talent and his size and strength. And like, yeah, like Donovan Mitchell had a more impressive regular season. He led a kick-ass Cleveland Cavaliers team to a phenomenal season, but it's important to acknowledge that that was an excellent Cavs team. Darius Garland's phenomenal ability to just beat people off the dribble and slice teams up in the paint made things easy. It made things easier for everybody. Evan Mobley becoming like a legit awesome two-way player. Jared Allen established himself as one of the better regular season centers in the NBA. Their insane depth of 3-and-D off-ball talent that Kobe Altman put together. It was an awesome team. That roster actually makes a shit ton of sense for LeBron James. A point guard who can break the defense down, elite defenders that can shoot, elite defenders in the front line that anchor things, that can handle some of the physicality, tons of high-level off-ball role player talent. That's literally why this summer, when LeBron and all the rumors around the Lakers started popping up, everyone's like, what if he went to Cleveland? Because it just makes so much basketball sense. And again, like LeBron, even on the low end of what you're going to get in the postseason, his floor is just still so high. And you might just get one of the top 6 or 7 players in the league when you get there, which is a ceiling that I don't think Donovan Mitchell can reach. So like, I just still think LeBron's a better basketball player than Donovan Mitchell, even at his old age. And for the record, I believe if you swapped him right now, like right now, even with the janky lineup stuff, you'd have to move Strus to the 2 and play LeBron at the 3 next to Mobley and Allen. It'd be a little bit funky. I think that's a better team. Frankly, I'd make that team a gigantic favorite to win the Eastern Conference, and I'd give them a substantially better chance to win the title. I think LeBron is a bit better than Donovan, but I also think the fit, the surrounding talent, all that shooting, a point guard that can help break the defense down. Like, I even think just in pure basketball fit, that matches up better with LeBron in Cleveland than Donovan Mitchell does in Cleveland. So yeah, I again, that's just my take. You're not wrong for putting Donovan Mitchell above LeBron. Again, I think there's a clear case you can make. I think it's a defensible position, but I still think LeBron's a better basketball player than Donovan Mitchell. And by the way, I'm going to be hitting him very soon. So it's not like I have him astronomically high. I just have him ahead of the guys that I have below him on the list right now.